training database. It uses Active Directory authentication, PHP, Smarty, template engine, MySQL backend. I have a JSON calendar here that reads from the database to show upcoming training. Also have the ability to show only specific training types. I wrote this about 8 years ago now. It's still in pretty heavy use by the department. We can edit this calendar. We can use all sorts of different search criteria, who the trainer is. And we can add that to our custom list of different kinds of calendars. Also on the home page we have custom searches, and if I skip into more of the meat of the application, the training system itself. So we have different kinds of trainings. Those are set up in training types. What I've done is I've let them manage all of this themselves. That way, if they need to create something new, it's very simple. Training type setup, put the name in, the description, any associated documents, the requirements. Meets requirements for. These correlate to the requirement types that are set up here, and you can create any requirement type and then set up a corresponding training that meets the requirements for that, along with the renewal period. You can also set up the appropriate trainers for this training type, and this is a search to our backend MySQL database, pulls in the trainer. I'm not going to create that. Another interesting component is the group setup. So you can create groups of individuals for training and assign membership, and also assign designations to that training group. You can edit the group and so on. There's full audit information about who did what last, visible for the users. Here's the requirement type setup. Very simple. And we also have a health component where we can keep track of vaccinations and so on. And keep track of exam types and tests and results. And then we also have a number of different reports. This is just one such report. They can get their annual percentages. You can also dump this as Excel. There's quite a bit of information in here. It's pretty useful for them, and I, just like all of these projects, I walked through the needs with the business unit, looked at packaged solutions, and because of our size, none of them really made sense financially at the time. And so I was able to construct this with them, and we used a agile method, and we iteratively introduced the modules. So it's been pretty successful. Again, it's about 8 years old, so that's why it's not super flashy with Ajaxy components everywhere, but this was an example of best technology available at the time with the greatest support, and it's still useful. So that is the training database.